Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that might sound like science fiction, but it's actually a deeply human ability, learning to think in 4 dimensions. This is all about seeing the invisible architecture of time and reality itself.
So let's just jump right in with a really big question. What if everything you see, everything you touch, everything your logical mind accepts as real, what if it's not the whole picture? What if it's just one thin slice of a universe that is so much deeper, so much more vast and multidimensional than we can imagine? This isn't just some philosophical game. According to the ideas we're exploring today, this is about a fundamental shift in your personal energy. It's a journey that can completely change how you see time, space, and your own power to shape your life. You really are about to cross a threshold into a whole new way of seeing.
To help us wrap our heads around this, we've broken it down into 5 key sections. We're going to start by looking beyond our normal 3D reality, then we'll completely redefine time, talk about the challenges that come with this, get into some practical daily applications, and finally, we'll talk about embracing your role as a conscious creator.
All right, first things first. We have to understand that this idea, the idea of a reality beyond our 5 senses, is not new at all. In fact, it's a whisper that has been echoing through human history for thousands of years. And when you look, you see this amazing, consistent thread. You've got ancient Egyptian initiates who saw time not as a straight line, but as a serpent biting its own tail, a cycle. You've got Eastern mystics talking about Maya, the idea that our solid reality is basically an illusion. And get this, even modern physics, with Einstein's relativity and the weirdness of quantum mechanics, has shown us that time isn't fixed and that the person observing actually helps shape reality.
So, what is all this pointing to? 4-dimensional thinking isn't some sci-fi gadget. It's an innate ability we all have to see time not as a single road we're forced to walk down, but as this wide-open landscape, a field of possibilities that you can learn to consciously navigate.
And that leads us right into our next section, which really requires a radical shift in how you see things. Because to think in 4D, you have to completely change your relationship with time.
And this just lays it out so perfectly. In the 3D mindset, we're pretty much passive. The past is gone, can't get it back. The future isn't here yet. We're just walking along this fixed line, and things happen to us. But look at the shift to the 4D mindset. Suddenly, you're an active navigator. The past isn't gone. It's an archive you can access. The future isn't just one unknown thing, it's a whole set of potentials. You're moving through a field of timelines, and you get to choose which one to align with. It's a total game changer.
Here's a really cool way to visualize this. Imagine your whole life is a giant art gallery. The normal 3D way of thinking is like walking through it room by room. You can only see the room you're in right now. But 4D thinking, that's like floating up to the ceiling. From that higher perspective, you can see all the rooms at once, your past, your present, and all the potential future rooms you could possibly step into.
Now this changes everything, especially how we think about creating the life we want. Manifestation stops being about waiting for something to show up in the future. It's about realizing that the version of reality where you already have what you want, it already exists. Your job is to tune your internal frequency, your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to match that reality. It's just like tuning a radio to catch a specific station.
Okay, so this expanded awareness is obviously incredibly empowering, but it's not like flipping a switch. With this greater perception comes a whole new set of inner responsibilities and, yeah, some potential pitfalls you gotta watch out for.
As your perception starts to open up, it's really easy to fall into the trap of the spiritual ego. Thinking you're suddenly more enlightened than everyone else. You might also start to feel a kind of perceptual overload, picking up on energies and emotions that aren't even yours. And a really big risk is getting lost daydreaming about potential futures and completely disconnecting from the here and now, which is where all your power actually is. Navigating this stuff really takes grounding, self-awareness, and a good dose of humility.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we bring this bigger consciousness into our everyday, normal lives? Let's get into some actual, tangible techniques.
This is such a powerful shift. Instead of asking, oh no, what should I do from a place of stress and uncertainty, try this. Connect with the version of yourself who's already successful, happy, and has it all figured out. Ask that you for advice. The answer you feel isn't just your imagination running wild, it's guidance from a timeline that you're actively aligning with. Then you can act from that place of certainty. Here's another absolute key. A 3D mind visualizes an object. A 4D mind visualizes a frequency. So don't just see the goal, feel the emotional state of having already achieved it. Actually inhabit that vibration of joy or gratitude or peace right here, right now. You have to remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are energetically.
Thinking in 4D also gives you this incredible perspective to finally see the patterns and loops that you're stuck in. So take a look at your life right now. Is there a situation, an emotion, or maybe a type of relationship that just keeps repeating itself over and over? That's a loop in your timeline. And seeing it from this higher perspective, well, that's the first step to consciously choosing a different path and finally breaking free.
And all of this brings us to the final and really the most essential part of this whole journey. This isn't about learning some new exotic skill. It's about remembering a fundamental truth of who you already are.
And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. You are not a victim of a straight line of time. You're not trapped by your past. You are a powerful, multi-dimensional traveler. You're the one who navigates the landscape of time, who bends it with your focus, and who ultimately chooses which version of reality to experience.
And here it is, the ultimate paradigm shift. We're all taught to wait for some kind of external proof before we believe something is possible. But in this 4D framework, it's the other way around. Your belief, your focused attention, that is the very tool that makes the invisible visible. It's what collapses all that infinite potential into your tangible, real-life experience. You believe first, and that is what allows you to see.
So, as we wrap this up, we'll just leave you with this question to ponder. Knowing that you are not a victim of time, but you are a weaver of realities, an infinite traveler, what timeline are you going to consciously choose to inhabit, starting this very moment? The power, it seems, has always been yours. The invisible is just waiting for you to look.